Shalom to all our students and friends, and this week parasha is Parashat Korah, the book of Numbers, Bamidbar, chapter 16, verse 1. And this is the story of Korah, which is a harsh story, not so nice. It's about this big guy, Korah, was very wise, very respectable, very powerful, but he wanted more. He wanted to have the position of Aaron, the high priest. Okay? Now, but the story, it came out wrong. The earth opened its mouth, swallowed himself, all his supporters and his family, and a fire came and consumed 250 people that also wanted to be high priest. Okay? So, what's the message? And here we have to realize this parasha is in a consecutive order by the topic, the meaning of the previous parashot that were coming after Shavuot. And all of them were about the warning that the Torah is giving us for where is the downfall, that we are all falling there and we can lose everything we really have. Now, last week's parasha, I was explaining about, that was in Parashat Shlach Lecha. It was a story of the spies, those chosen ones, the leaders of the nation, coming to the Holy Land, the first ones after centuries of exile, and they're coming back, and they're just coming to the wrong conclusion. They're totally off. They don't understand their position. And they say, the promised land that God has promised us for centuries, we can't go there. And the result is they die. Everybody who listens to them dies within the next 40 years, and so on. All of these stories, what do they want us to understand? And the understanding is I explained last week, and here there's another thing. The story was like this, and it can be really understood by the research of Professor Daniel Kahneman. He won the Nobel Prize almost 20 years ago for proving through research that when people make the most important decisions of their lives, they are not doing it as a rational decision. It's all from a gut feeling. And many times, the result is not something that serves our own interest. Okay? So, now, Professor Kahneman is printing another book. And in his book, he's talking about the noise. And he's explaining the noise that we experience. And that noise covers up most of the rational thinking. And this is exactly what the Torah is teaching us in the last few parashot. There is a noise. And we covered it up starting Parashat Baalotcha 2 weeks ago. And it's coming from a place of being a victim. A lot of noise is coming from that place. And then we had the whole list and the noise of lust. You want power, you want money, you want food. All of these desires that are very low in the ladder of fulfilling desires for fulfillment, because we know whatever is physical cannot fulfill us for long, only the real spiritual fulfillment. And there is a lot of scientific research about it for a long time already, that it's available to everyone, which means you can have an amazing meal in a restaurant, very expensive restaurant. What really is important and what's really is going to give you value is who are the people that are with you around the table, and what was the atmosphere. And that gives you more than how much was the meal. Because if you are, but this is not new. You can read it in the Torah, you can read it in Proverbs of King Solomon. It's there in front of us only if you study that body of knowledge that is called the Torah. And now we are coming to one of the greatest downfalls of each one of us that we have to be so careful, especially this week. And the Rashi, the great commentator from France, 11th century, is giving us this summary of all the midrashim, which means the ancient sources, explaining every verse of the Torah. And what is Rashi saying? We're going back to chapter 16, verse 1. And he starts with the word Vayikach, Korah. And Korah took. He doesn't say what did he take. And there are many ways to explain it, and all of them are right. But the point is like this. The Rashi is saying, as for Ma ra'a Korach lachalok im Moshe, why did Korah, who was Moses' cousin, go into such a dispute, such a fight against Moses? נתקנא נשיאותו של אליצפן בן עוזיאל. He was jealous. Here's jealousy. For the presidency of Elitzaphan ben Uziel. We have to understand after the when we have now a story of Elitzaphan ben Uziel, who was another cousin of Moses, and he was appointed to be the leader, the Nasi, the president of the tribe of Levi. Sheminar Moshe Nasi al Bnei Kehat. Amar Korach. So Korach said, now Korach made the whole calculation that he was the next in line to receive the honor of being the head of the tribe of Levi. He was a cousin of Moses, as I said. Masa. So, what did he do? Because he was insulted, because he was hurt, because he expected to be nominated and appointed to be in that position, and he was hurt, he started to see everything going around that hurt. The result, because he was a very powerful man, very knowledgeable man, but that hurt was going down deep inside till finally it made him, and that's what Rashi is saying, and he's taking it from the Midrash, that's ancient writings in the Mishnah, the Talmud and stuff like this, that Maasa, what did he do? Amad v'kines, he gathered 250 ראשי סנהדריות, 250 judges, heads of courts. רובן משבט ראובן שכניו, and most of them from the tribe of Reuven. Reuven also had a hurt, right? Reuven was the first tribe, the first son of Jacob. He got no birthright, no kingship, no priesthood. And he was supposed to get it. So there were people among the tribe of Reuven where also there was a kind of bickering. What do we learn from that? What do we learn from that? The result was like this. The people who wanted to become Kohanim, all of them came to Moses, and the story is, if we want to read the original, V'zot asu lachem. They come to Moses and they want to be the high priest. And Moses says, you know what? 250 people want to be high priest. We can have only one. So you know what will happen? Zot asu, I'm reading now verse 6. Zot asu k'hu lachem machtot, Korach v'chol adato. I'm asking you, that's what you're going to do. Korach and all his congregation, whoever sides with him, take trays, put them on them fire and incense, and tomorrow morning you're going to go to the altar and serve the incense. One little catch. Whoever read Parashat Shmini, that is describing an event that happened a few months earlier. It was the day of the dedication of the Mishkan, the temple they had in the desert. On that day, the glory of God, the Holy Spirit, comes down on the whole tabernacle, the new tabernacle, and the whole nation. And everybody, the whole nation, is celebrating, rejoicing. But the two sons of Aaron took the trays with the incense and they ran in. They wanted to offer the incense. And immediately they were struck by fire and died. Everybody saw that. That happened only a few months earlier. How come 250 people, how come they agree after they saw what happened to do that? And exactly what happened, all of them, 250 people, they served, they offered the incense, and they were smitten by fire exactly like they've seen their brothers having the same destiny a few months earlier. You know, how could people do such nonsense? This is the question. And the question is, we are not speaking lashon hara. We're not bad-mouthing those people. We don't know them. We don't care about them that much. And it's like it happened thousands of years ago. The story that the Torah wants to teach us is that what happens is when you're expecting stuff and you get hurt and you're not dealing with it, you're not healing that, you're not aware of it, finally, if you don't take care of that hurt, it can change. It becomes, as Professor Kahneman says, noise. And that noise can screen your logic, your experience, your judgment, everything. And finally, because you were hurt, you can destroy everything that you have. Everything. In this case, this is really everything, which means when you die in such a shame, disputing Moses and Aaron and trying to get what is not yours, what's not supposed to be yours, the result is terrible. So, what should be the healing? Because nobody can say, I'm not hurt. I was never hurt by my spouse, by my kids, by my neighbors, by my colleagues, whatever people I'm dealing with, business like friends, family. People are people, and people, even the best people, they do one thing very well. They fall. And we learn many times, you know, you're not supposed to be immune of falling. Only dead people cannot fall anymore. They're already deep in the ground, can't fall anymore. When you're alive, you fail and you fall because you're human. And King Solomon is teaching us, Sheva ipol tzadik vekam. In Proverbs, a tzaddik, a righteous person, falls 7 times, but he will get up. The falling, if somebody says, oh, that guy never made a mistake, either he's lying, or he's naive, or he's simply not aware of human nature. People are people, they make mistakes. So the question is, would people hurt you along your life? Of course they will hurt you. The question is, what do you do with it? If you're not going to take it as a message, as a way to lift yourself above it, to rise, if you're just going to hold on to it, you're creating such a noise, and that noise poisons your database, and the result can be so horrific as we see in this parasha. So we have to be really, really careful about those sounds of noise coming from within in our hearts, that I was hurt. So you're hurt. You know, people get hurt. You have to get over with this. And it's not easy. So where I'm going to take the ability and the power to deal with it. And here comes the Zohar. And the Zohar says, as the Zohar is starting, the Zohar of Parashat Korah, already in the beginning, Rabbi Abba opened. And he's quoting from Psalms 19. הנחמדים מזהב ומפז רב, ומתוקים מדבש ונופת צופים. כמה עילאים פתגמי אורייתא. And he's saying like this. The study of the Torah has one purpose. It's not to be wise. It's not to know a lot of stuff about your background or about, the words of God that were given in the desert or wherever they were given. Okay? We're talking about one thing. The words of the Torah are precious, they are very powerful, and because they are Shem HaKadosh, the holy name, the whole Torah is the holy name of God. You want to talk to God, you want to connect to God, You want to connect to His awesome, endless power. The study of the Torah is a mean of communication. We are not studying Torah just for the information. We're studying Torah to connect to that realm that is called the tree of life. Okay, so whoever is making the effort to connect to that tree of life, he will be saved from all evil. Nitzal ba'olam hazeh v'nitzal ba'olam haba. He will be saved in the physical world and also in the world to come. Why? Come and see. Kol mi she'osek b'Torah, whoever is dealing with the Torah, whoever is occupying himself with the consciousness of the Torah day and night, Achuz Be'etz HaChaim, he is holding on, connected to the tree of life. Ve'kevan shu Achuz Be'etz HaChaim, since he is connected, holding on to the tree of life, he is connected to everything, to all what is good. As it says, Etz Chaim ine machzikim ba. The Torah is a tree of life for the ones who are holding on to it. Rabbi Yitzchak said, that's verse 2, in Zohar Sulam. Kol mi she'osek b'Torah yesh lo cherut mikol. Whoever is busy himself in the Torah, he has freedom from all. Freedom from everything, freedom from death. As we said, kemishum shecherut shora alav v'she'achuz bo. He has freedom. What does it mean, freedom? The purpose of studying Torah, the purpose of meditating on the names of God, the purpose of reading and studying the Zohar, because the Zohar is one aspect of the study of the Torah, is one to connect to the tree of life. When we are really toiling ourselves, like really making the effort daily, 24/7, even when when you're really busy with it, you also dream about it. What's happening is the magical connection to the tree of life. And that is the purpose of our living. Why? Because who can say he was not hurt? Who can say that he has no lust for all kinds of stuff that can really kill us? Addictions. And you have addictions to food, addictions to alcohol, addictions to, chemicals, addictions to what people say about me, addictions to honor and respect, all of this stuff, like the sages are saying, that atava, kina, v'kavod mavirim et ha'adam min ha'olam, which means lust, all kinds of them, jealousy, and honor, those forces, they basically kill the person, which means remove him from this world to a world of death. So, what is the healing? And here there's a story. Come and see. Aaron yamin, u chesed. Aaron was right column. Chesed. The Levites are left column, and Korah was a left column. But he wanted the priesthood. He wanted the right column. Why? Korah did not know that stuff? Of course he knew that stuff. He knew the Zohar and the secrets of the Zohar more than me and you and all of us together will learn all our lives, because Korah was one of the greatest sages. But there was one little problem. He was hurt. And when me, you, each one of us is hurt, and we can't overcome that, that becomes poison. And the result, how do you see that it's affecting you? You start bad-mouthing somebody else, and that's what Korah was doing. He was going, in order to get his evil coalition against Moses, he had to go and bad-mouth. How could, people bad-mouth about Moses? He got them out of Egypt, got them the manna, got them the water from the stone, teaches them every day. How can you do that? You understand that the tendency of people for evil is unlimited. The stupidity of people is endless. You can never underestimate how stupid people can be, including myself. Because that's what we do. We are people, we're humans, and we fall. And what is falling? The Zohar says falling means losing the level, the latitude, the level of spirituality we achieved. Why? Because we listen to all kinds of negative thoughts, ideas and emotions that basically let us lose that level. Falling from one level to another, that's the taste of death. And it's accumulative. When a person dies, finally, physically, is dead, with a death certificate, it's only after that person accumulated many, many, many debts. Because he was hurt, because he wanted something and he got it, and it was not it. He wanted something, he didn't get it, and he was upset that he didn't get it. You know, all of that stuff. This is the taste of death. What is the taste of life? When we are studying the Torah for one purpose, to connect to the light of God. The moment I'm connecting to the light of God, I don't need anything. I don't need other people's respect. I don't need other people giving me powers, giving me all kinds of whatever. You know, it could be lunch, could be dinner, it could be gifts and money and position and stuff like this. This is not what you want. You want the fulfillment with the light of the Creator. How do you create a consciousness of freedom, the consciousness of the tree of life? This is what the study of the Zohar is about. This is what the study of the Torah is about. Because we know, thousands of years, that what kept the people who studied Torah alive, above all the storms of life, till 33 centuries later, we still have the same institutions of studying Torah all over the world. We still have people studying the same books, with the same language, the same writing, the same letters, the same prints, like it used to be 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, and so on, going even longer to the past. Okay? What did Korah do? So it says, so what was Korah taking? And the Zohar is saying, what did he take? Lakach etzar al atzmo. This is also very, very famous interpretation. He took a bad advice. Who gave him that bad advice? It doesn't matter. The moment you're hurt, and you're not fighting that hurt because as the biggest enemy you have, but the other person hurt me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you are right and he's wrong, okay? Then you're a victim. The moment you're a victim, you're already not connecting to the image of the Creator within you. You're not independent because somebody else is controlling your life and you're blaming. That's illegal. Cosmically, it's illegal. Winners are never blaming because they don't have time for that. They don't have the space for that. Okay, you're not creative because you're busy creating only bad stuff about other people. And you can't be creating good stuff about other people, about yourself and your life, and at the same time hating other people or being hurt. And you're not sharing. And these are the three elements of being in the image of the Creator, that we are all created in that image. Independence, creativity, and sharing. The moment you're a victim, the moment you're busy being hurt. So what if somebody hurts me? Yes, if somebody hurts you. What's supposed to be? Does that mean that you should, give the other cheek? Of course not. Of course not. But you can't be bickering. You can't be upset about it. You have first to fight the real enemy. The real enemy is your hurt. If we are not fighting that enemy by getting excited about prayers, about study, about meditation, about sharing with other people, about doing some stuff, if you are not connecting to spiritual light, and by this, killing the hurt, if you're not talking to the person and asking, why did you do that? Explain to me. Till the animosity is dispersed. How do I know somebody is motivated by the hurt? The other symptom is, what the Zohar says, Korah halach b'machloket. Korah created a dispute. What for? He didn't care about the results. We know that. He wanted to be a high priest, and he saw what happened to the sons of Aaron when they tried just to bring the offerings of the incense, not to talk about being their father, taking the father's job while he's still alive. This is extremely extreme. How could he see that? When you are hurt and the dark side takes over, you fight. You don't care anymore about the results. You don't care anymore about what's good for everybody. No, you just want to take a revenge. You want to vent out the venom. The more venom you vent out, it doesn't remove the venom. It gives you more power to kill you and to kill other people. So what is the Zohar saying? There are few amazing, immortal rules of the Zohar is saying. כל הרודף אחר שאינו שלו הוא בורח מפניו ולא עוד, אלא מה שיש לו נאבד ממנו. Whoever is trying to take what doesn't belong to him, not just he doesn't get it, he's losing what he already has. Korah was one of the most respected people among the people of Israel. He had his own position as head of academies and courts and stuff like this. He lost that. He lost his name and he lost his life and everything that is included with that. Okay? Another thing, Korah halach b'machloket. And what is machloket? Korah went into dispute, fight. And the moment you create fight and animosity, this equals, the Zohar says, הרחקה ודיחוי. הרחקה ודיחוי של למעלה ומטה. The law of affinity says that whatever we want is the light of God, which all what is good is coming from. The problem is that if you want to connect to that you have to vibrate on the same wavelength. The moment you are busy, right or wrong, it doesn't matter, with hating, with dispute, with terrible emotions, as Professor Kahneman said, the noise is so great you cannot see reality. That's what the Zohar is saying. Not just this, you cannot connect to anything that is positive. There are no positive results. Because you're fighting shalom. You're fighting peace. Shalom, which means wholeness, is one of the names of God. You want to connect to wholeness, to endless, to light and fulfillment. You need to vibrate on that frequency. You have to create it within your heart. You cannot do it when you're still busy being hurt. In this week, and all the weeks to come, for the rest of our lives, we have to carry that message. It doesn't matter how smart you are, how wise you are. You know, all the good merit that you have from fasting, the moment we allow the hurt to make so much noise, we finally can bring our own demise. Be careful and fight it. Inside, don't fight other people. Just create peace and love unconditionally. It doesn't mean you should shut up, but you cannot say anything that is right if it's coming out of hurt, hatred, and dispute. Thank you so much, and have a great week.